So you started training your back with a wide variety of exercises, but you still struggle with actually growing the back muscles and seeing more shape. Your friend, on the other hand, focuses on a few simple key movements and has been able to develop good back definition as a result of this. This makes you think, are all these supposedly advanced back workouts you're seeing online actually effective? Or are you better off focusing on the simple foundational compound movements? In today's video, I will be sharing with you 4 exercises that are effective for targeting the entire back region. These are movements I have personally used over the past months and years to enhance my back development. But before we dive into the specific exercises, let's first look into what actual regions we have to develop for that V-tapered look. First, we got the upper back region that mostly consists of your traps, rhomboids and teres muscles. Secondly, we got the lats, which is one of the largest muscles of the upper body. And thirdly, we got the lower back region, which is specifically influenced by your spinal erector's development. As you see, your back is not just one big slab of muscle. There are specific regions that we want to target. To make back training as simple as possible, I will share 4 key exercises that, when taken together, target each area of your back effectively. The first exercise is the overhand-grip barbell row. This will help us focus on training mostly the upper back region and your spinal erectors. With the barbell row, we aim to maintain a wider elbow positioning to align the resistance more with your upper back muscles. To ensure the upper back does the working, aim to pull the bar towards your upper stomach right below the chest. As you can see, the upper back muscles like the rhomboids, traps and rear delts contract well during the barbell row. So this exercise is great for developing more upper back thickness. Since you are in a bent over position during the barbell row, this exercise will also stimulate your spinal erectors. The spinal erectors stabilize your spine when you are in a bent over position, so incorporating a bent over barbell row variation also directly helps you develop the lower back region. The spinal erectors run all the way up your upper back as well, by the way. So you will also get an extra upper back thickness benefit from developing the spinal erectors through barbell rows. Now on to the second back exercise, and that is doing an overhand grip pull-up or wide grip lat pull-down if you cannot do pull-ups yet. These movements will also focus mostly on the upper back. It is often believed that doing traditional pull-ups is a good exercise for the lats. While the lats are definitely still being engaged during pull-ups, the wider elbow positioning actually places more emphasis on your upper back. That's why I like to incorporate pull-ups as the second upper back dominant motion in my back training, next to doing barbell rows. To make sure the upper back muscles do most of the working, I suggest maintaining a grip of about 1.5 times your shoulder width. Also, when you are pulling yourself up, make sure you keep your chest pointing up to fully engage the upper back. When you allow the shoulders to round forward, your upper back muscles cannot fully contract. If you cannot do pull-ups yet, then you can do the lat pull-down instead, because this pretty much trains the same movement pattern. The only difference here is that with a pull-up, there's also some core stabilizing involved, while with the lat pull-down, you're locked into position, so there's less core stability demands. On that note of core stability, many people struggle with stabilizing themselves on pull-ups. To stop the swinging during your pull-ups, make sure your feet remain in front of your chest as you are pulling up. This will result in a more streamlined pull and less swinging overall. So we just covered 2 exercises that are more focused on the upper back. Now it's time to give the lats more attention. Starting with a classic movement, the one-arm dumbbell row. With a one-arm dumbbell row, you keep the elbows narrow and close to your body. This narrow elbow positioning aligns the resistance with your lats muscle fibers and the lats get challenged more. I also like to incorporate the one-arm dumbbell row because it allows you to focus on training each side of your body separately. Training a unilateral movement helps you realize more balanced muscle development between each limb. While doing the one-arm dumbbell row, make sure you are focused on pulling the elbows back towards your hips instead of simply pulling up and down. The main function of your lats is shoulder extension. Mimic that motion during the one-arm rows. Also, when performing one-arm rows, start with your weaker side first. This way, you have a bit of extra energy while training the weaker side, which helps with correcting muscle imbalances. As a side note, muscle imbalances are not by definition bad. Your muscular system does not have to be 100% symmetrical to be healthy and strong. But still, the more balanced your strength and muscular development is on each side, the stronger we will also be in our bilateral compound movements. The fourth and last exercise we want to train is a neutral grip lat pull-down. With the neutral grip lat pull-down, there is great resistance on your lats when they are in a stretched position. While with the one-arm dumbbell row, the resistance on the lats is the highest when the lats are shortened. So training both narrow grip pull-down and row variations will allow you to train your lats at different muscle lengths, which ultimately leads to better lats development. In terms of grip width with a neutral grip pull down, I would suggest a shoulder width grip. This will allow you to stretch the lats well while also providing a good peak contraction. So if we take the 4 back exercises we just discussed, we have a great back training routine. With the barbell rows and overhead grip pull-ups, the upper back and spinal erectors will get challenged well, while with the one-arm dumbbell rows and neutral grip pull-downs, the lats will get good stimulation. These are 4 exercises I have used to develop my back region, but there are of course always alternatives you can use if, for instance, you don't have a certain piece of equipment at your disposal. If building muscle is your goal, then you are never limited to just one piece of equipment. There are always viable alternatives that we can look into. Instead of a barbell row, you can also choose something like a dumbbell bent over row or even wide grip cable rows to target the upper back. Instead of the overhead grip pull-ups, you can also choose pull downs as discussed. For one-arm dumbbell rows, doing something like a one-arm seated cable row or even T-bar row is possible too, since all these movements use a narrow grip. And instead of the neutral grip pull down, you can do a neutral grip pull-up. As long as you have movements that train horizontal and vertical pulls from different angles, and you also have one exercise at least that puts you in a bent over position for spinal erectors development, you will get great back stimulation out of your workouts. And that was all for today's video. I hope you now have a clear idea of how you can go about structuring your back workouts for complete development. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Also, if you found this video helpful, then leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I will see you in that next video.